Full Young, and the Restless spoilers recap, Fridays, July 31. Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day to dive into the latest daytime drama. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's unpack the absolute chaos that just went down in Genoa City. We have so much to talk about, so let's get right into it. I cannot believe they did that. I am literally sitting here late at night, staring at my screen, typing furiously because my brain is absolutely melting after watching the end of this week's episodes. I need to get this out of my system right now before I explode. Victor and Nikki? Again? Are we seriously doing this again? I've been watching since 2015, and I know longtime fans have been watching this dynamic for decades, but this has to be the most frustrating, exhausting, and toxic cycle on daytime television. We are ending the week and the entire month, for that matter, with Nikki and Victor right back at the exact same familiar starting point. Square one. The merry-go-round has stopped right where it started. And what is this starting point, you ask? Nikki forgives Victor, and Victor, in all his infinite godlike wisdom, forgives Nikki because he genuinely doesn't think there is anything he needs to be forgiven for. I mean, read that again. He forgives her for being mad at him, for doing something objectively horrible. So they just agree to start over. A clean slate. A new chapter. But we all know it is a chapter in the exact same cursed book. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's rewind a second and look at how we even got to this ridiculous truce. Because we need to talk about the absolute hypocrisy of Victor Newman. Nikki was rightfully 100% furious that Victor brought Patty Williams back to Genoa City. Patty Williams. Do the writers think we forgot who she is? This is the woman who poisoned Summer. This is the woman who has terrorized people. Victor literally used a known violent psychopath to kidnap Jack Abbott just so he could blackmail Phyllis Summers and get his hands on her company. Like, who does that? He put everyone in danger. He traumatized the Abbott family just to win a corporate chess game. So Nikki was disgusted, and she left him. She walked right out on her megalomaniac husband, and I was cheering. Am I the only one who stood up and clapped when she packed her bags? She finally had a spine. She drew a line in the sand. They were almost finding common ground again, but then Patty goes completely rogue, because of course she does. She is Patty, and she almost kills Diane and Jack. It was a bloodbath waiting to happen. And what does Nikki do? She does what any normal, compassionate human being would do. She goes to the hospital to visit Jack. She checks on her friend, her ex-husband, a man who almost lost his life because of her current husband's insane, illegal plotting. She goes to wish him a speedy recovery. And Victor? Victor has the absolute audacity to act like she committed high treason. He was offended. He couldn't believe his wife would betray him by checking on a victim of his own crimes. No wife of his could ever get away with such a betrayal. I literally can't with this man's fragile ego. But then the universe decides to throw a massive curveball, and Nikki goes blind. The tumor, the surgery, the bandages coming off on July 20th. It was pure agony. Melody Thomas Scott acted her heart out in those scenes. She was terrified, vulnerable, and completely broken. And Victor swoops in. He generously allows her to move back into the ranch. He plays the doting, devoted savior to the hilt. He gets her blankets, he guides her to the sofa, he plays the perfect husband, because Victor only loves Nikki when she is completely dependent on him. When she is weak, when she needs him, he is right there. But we all know the dark truth. While she was drugged up and terrified, he manipulated her into signing away her Newman Enterprises shares. He is secretly liquidating her assets. He is hollowing her out from the inside while holding her hand. Remember when they tried this exact same storyline with Victor and Nikki back in the day? When he would constantly undermine her independence, strip her of her corporate power, and then act like he was doing her a favor. Yeah, didn't work then either. It is like the writers are stuck on a loop. Victor Newman does not know how to love as an equal. He only knows how to possess. He views Nikki not as a partner, but as property. When she was blind, she was the perfect docile property. She couldn't leave the ranch. She couldn't challenge him in the boardroom. She couldn't even walk down the stairs without his guidance. That was Victor's absolute dream scenario. And the fact that he used that exact moment of her extreme vulnerability to have her sign away her shares in Newman Enterprises, it is diabolical. It is pure evil. And yet, the show frames it like this grand, romantic reconciliation. Oh, Victor is so sweet, getting her a blanket. He stole her company. Wake up, people. I am screaming. And now that she has her sight back, they have this little chat where he basically says she can stay. He will allow her to remain in her own home as long as she never, ever thinks for herself again without his explicit permission, as long as she obeys. Do we have a deal, Nikki? Ugh, it makes me sick. I know some people are loving this classic Nictor reunion, and they think it is so romantic that he stood by her during her blindness, but personally, I am dreading what comes next. It is just a matter of time before she finds out about the stolen shares, and we are going to do this entire song and dance all over again. Okay, back to the point. I need to calm down about Victor and talk about Nick. Nick is in rehab, which, thank God, the fentanyl, the cocaine, the car crash in Vegas, it was entirely too much. The man was spiraling into a dark, violent abyss. And who is holding his hand through it all? Sharon, because of course it is Sharon. She is always the one picking up his pieces. She supports his decision to go to rehab. She stands by him, and she sits down and shares this massive, heavy secret with Noah. And let's dive deeper into this Sharon situation. Why is it that every single time Nick hits rock bottom, Sharon has to be the safety net? I know they have this deep historical bond, but come on. She was held hostage by Martin Laurent not that long ago. She has her own trauma to deal with. She has to worry about Mariah being locked up in a mental health facility and facing Devin's insane legal threats. Sharon's plate is completely full. But no, here comes Nick crashing his car on fentanyl, threatening to murder Matt Clark, and Sharon just has to drop everything to soothe him. It is exhausting. I want Sharon to have her own storyline that doesn't revolve around fixing the Newman men. But here she is, having to sit Noah down and explain that his father is an addict. The generational trauma in this family is just off the charts. And I guess we are all just supposed to assume Noah is going to support his dad, because Noah has been through the ringer lately. He is furious at Matt Clark. He is dealing with the grand opening of his own club, the Shadow Room, and now he has to carry the burden of his father's severe addiction. It is too much for one kid. But speaking of Nick's kids, can we please talk about this? Where on earth is Christian? I am losing my mind trying to figure this out. I am screaming at my television. How old is this boy now? Does he have a nanny? Does he even need a nanny anymore? Or did they Soraz him into a moody teenager off screen while we weren't looking? Is he at a fancy summer camp making lanyards while his dad is crashing cars on drugs and threatening to murder people? Is he at boarding school with Johnny and Katie? Like, who is actually raising this child? Sharon used to be so involved in his life. Does she even visit him anymore? Does Noah check in on his little brother? It is like the writers just put him in a closet, locked the door, and threw away the key. It drives me absolutely insane when soaps just erase children when they become inconvenient to the plot. Nick is literally out of his mind on drugs, and nobody is asking who is packing Christian's lunch. And you know what? If there was ever a time, a perfect time, for Adam to swoop in and sue for full custody of Christian, it is right now. Nick is in rehab. Nick is unstable. Nick is having violent outbursts. Adam is actually the stable one right now, which is hilarious to say, but it is true. Adam has been the one trying to save Nick's life in Vegas. Adam is the one trying to protect Sally. Imagine the courtroom drama. Adam bringing up the drug use, the car crash, the fact that Nick literally left Christian with God knows who while he went off to fight Matt Clark. I am so here for an Adam custody battle. It would be the best thing they have done in years. Please, writers, if you are reading the forums, give us this storyline. It writes itself. So, let's talk about Matt Clark, because I definitely need to vent about this before I try to go to sleep. The absolute nerve of this guy. He is currently on what I can only describe as the most toxic, manipulative apology tour in Genoa City history. He apologized to Nick. He apologized to Sharon. And now, according to the latest spoilers, he is going to try to make amends with Sienna. Sienna, are you kidding me? He should leave his ex-wife alone. The last time he tried to play nice with Sienna, Nick and Noah absolutely lost their minds, and rightfully so. Matt is a dangerous predator who has caused nothing but trauma for this family. And now he wants to say, I'm sorry, and expects everyone to just hug it out. If Sienna actually forgives him, and knowing this show, she might, because characters in GC have the memories of goldfish, then Noah is going to be put in an impossible position. And let's not underestimate the psychological warfare. Matt is playing with Sienna. He knows exactly what he is doing. He knows that Noah is a hothead. By approaching Sienna, he is deliberately poking the bear. He wants Noah to overreact. He wants Noah to look like the unhinged one, so Matt can play the victim. Oh, look at me. I'm just a poor amnesiac trying to make amends, and these big bad Newmans won't let me. It is a classic abuser tactic, and it makes my skin crawl. I am terrified that Sienna is going to fall for it. If she starts defending Matt to Noah, it is going to destroy their relationship, and Matt will just sit back and smile. Noah is fiercely protective of Sienna. If she lets Matt back into her life, Noah might actually forgive him too, just to keep the peace, or he might completely explode and do something he regrets. But let's be real, Matt hasn't changed. He is faking this amnesia, he is faking this remorse. He just wants to lower everyone's defenses. Once he gets Sienna and Noah to back off, he is just going to start making brand new enemies. He can't help himself. Plus, let's not forget the massive elephant in the room. He is sleeping with Phyllis. He just got into bed with Red. They are getting super cozy. If Phyllis finds out he is sniffing around Sienna and trying to play the reformed family man, she is going to lose her absolute mind. You do not cross Phyllis Summers. The fallout is going to be epic, and honestly, I am kind of dreading it, but also grabbing my popcorn. I mean, look at the state of this canvas right now. Victor is manipulating a newly sighted Nicky. Nick is in rehab while his youngest son is missing in action. Adam is playing the hero. And Matt Clark is running around town handing out apologies like candy while sleeping with Phyllis. It is absolute madness. Sometimes I contradict myself because I hate the toxicity, but I also can't stop watching. It is a train wreck. Are we really supposed to believe that Victor and Nicky are just going to be happy now? Are we supposed to believe Matt is a good guy? I just can't. I need to know what you guys think, because I feel like I am taking crazy pills. Am I the only one who sees right through Victor's forgiveness? Am I the only one wondering where Christian is? Let me know, because I am going to be obsessing over this until the next episode